everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make corn chowder. Now before I get into that, I know a couple of you have asked how my surgery went. I had surgery last Wednesday for those of you who don't know. Basically, in a nutshell, my doctor opened me up to realize he had to do the operation a completely different way. So I have another surgery scheduled for this coming Wednesday and possibly a third coming up that I don't know when. They're betting that I'm probably going to have to go see a specialist, and that's going to be about an hour and a half away. Okay, on to the recipe. So I decided to make some corn chowder. Today's kind of a cold, drab type of day. It's not Toby's favorite. Mine and the girls, we like it, so I'm making enough for us to have a little bit of leftovers. What I did in here is I rendered off about 3 slices of bacon that I cut up with just plain kitchen shears, and rendered them off, got the bacon crispy, drained it on a paper towel, left the grease in there. I'm waiting for this to come up to temperature. In here I have 1 large onion, I have some celery, it's just 1 stalk of celery that I just diced up, and 3 small diced tomatoes.
Potatoes.
Sorry, potatoes. To this, I'm going to add some chicken bouillon cubes, some water, some corn. I'm not sure if I'm going to need 2 cans or 1, so we'll just see what we need when we get there. So I'm just going to throw all this in here. Now, some of you may ask, how come I didn't cook the vegetables with the bacon? And the reason why you don't do that is because the vegetables have water in them, and that water is not going to let that bacon get crispy, and that's not going to be very good to put on top of a soup or a garnish for anything. It's also not going to render off all the natural juices from the bacon. So you want to render the bacon first. How I render the bacon is I add a little extra virgin olive oil to the pan on a medium-low heat, and I add the bacon. And the reason why you want a medium-low heat and a little extra oil in there is when you add bacon to a hot pan with no oil, it immediately browns up and it fries up and it holds on to the juices and it holds on to all the stuff that I wanted to get out. So if you want all that stuff to get out of the bacon, you got to do the exact opposite. You got to give it a little oil and on a lower heat, and it will brown up. It'll just take a little bit longer, but that's okay. Now you could totally do this in a crock pot. There's no reason why you can't. I just felt like making it on the stovetop today. Okay, so now that we have this in here, I'm just going to add, let's see, I'm going to add about 3 chicken bouillon cubes to 6 cups of water. And the directions for chicken bouillon cubes, as most of you know, is 1 cube to 1 cup. I find that a little salty sometimes, so I go half. But if you like yours a little salty, then you can follow the instructions on your bouillon. Or if you have homemade chicken stock, you can just use that. I have some in my freezer, but I'm saving most of it for Thanksgiving. So I have a hunch this Thanksgiving is going to be a little different for me and my family, since I may possibly be recovering from surgery. It's going to be interesting, but at the same time, my husband's a really good cook too, so I'm sure it'll be wonderful. So I'm going to add, I got a ½ cup measure here. This ought to be fun. So I'm just going to add some water. Whoops. 1. Now I could be here all day doing this, so I'm not gonna torture you guys and make you watch all that. So I'm gonna get all the water in here. I'm gonna bring all this up to a boil, let the potatoes soften, and when they soften, I'll be back and I'll show you what else I put in here. Hi guys, I forgot to tell you for seasonings, all I added was this Mrs. Dash onion and herb season blend. It's a one-shot deal. I just added probably about a tablespoon in there if you want to take a look in there. And all that's in here, it's kind of like I said, it's a one-shot deal. It has onion, garlic, black pepper, sweet chili peppers, parsley, celery, celery seed, basil, bay, marjoram, oregano, thyme, cayenne pepper, coriander, cumin, mustard, rosemary, and a little bit of orange peel. So that's all that's in here, and I figured it's a one-shot deal, and you get all your spices in here. So, okay, I'm going to go away and let this stuff cook, and I'll be back. Hi everyone, we're back. So this part of our soup is done. The potatoes are soft, the vegetables are soft. At this point, this is probably the point that if you wanted to, you could take half the potato mixture and run it through a blender, a food processor, or whatever you have available, if you want to make it really thick. I like it the way it is. So I'm going to add 1 can of just regular whole kernel corn. Some people use cream of corn, and that's fine. I'm not a big fan of cream corn, so I just use regular. You can use canned, frozen, fresh, whatever you have available. And today I'm using canned. And this is the no salt added variety, because we have enough salt in here. So I'm looking at it, seeing if I need to add any more corn, and I don't. So at this point, I'm going to add some milk. Now I'm using skim milk here. The reason for that is because I'm adding cheese. So at this point, with this particular chowder, it does not matter if you use fat-free or skim milk, because you're adding the cheese to that, and you'll get the creamy consistency from that. So you'll get the creamy consistency from the cheese. So this is what it looks like. I added 2 cups of skim milk, and now I have 2 thick blocks of cheese. This is Velveeta cheese. It's easier to melt in something like this. And basically you just want to heat this all through to where the milk warms up and the cheese melts. And this cheese melts rather fast. So we're going to let this warm back up, and we'll be back so Toby can do his taste test. Hi guys, so I'm just going to add some crushed red pepper flake to this, just to give it a little extra heat. You get the sweetness from the vegetables along with the corn, so to kind of give it a little contrast and flavor, a little heat never hurt anybody. If you wanted to add a jalapeno to this, you more than likely could. It would be wonderful with it. But since this is for me and the kids, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but I might add it to mine. So I'm going to give Toby a little bit here. Like I said before, this is not one of his favorite things, but he's doing this for you guys, and he's doing it for me. So I'm going to give him a little ladleful. Now, I like serving this in a mug, in like a mug type of bowl, but you can serve it however you want to. You can serve it with crusty bread. If you like yours thicker, add like a little milk slurry with some cornstarch, and it should thicken it right up. But I like it just as is. So I'm going to put a little crumbled bacon on top of his, and he's ready to chow down. So I don't know when I'll be back again. I'm hoping that I'll be doing some more videos before my final surgery. That's the one where I'm going to be down for the count for a while. So until next time, guys, live, laugh, and love, and here's my taste tester.
Alright. Let me get a spoon. It looks good, and it's got all the things I like in it. I may just end up eating a bunch of this. Give me a little.
Well, there's enough there. I made enough just in case it's one of those things like the fish chowder that you said you didn't like and then you wound up really liking.
You know what? That ain't bad. She did it again, folks.
Good thing I made enough.
Good thing she made enough. I'm going to have the rest of this. Until next time, take care. Adios.